Airwaves are super open and clear, hence the coughing and a front crawl, because it's fresh outside. And now let's, just caught my mirror, that would have been a disaster. Open out your hips. And let's bring it back in again. Now let's swing a leg. So I've called this class Pilates for the back. I think what I also will put into the title is Pilates for cyclists. Because cyclists spend a lot of time leaning forward, and when they get off the bike they don't stretch, and they definitely don't lean back. So you'll find, if you are a cyclist, that this class is a great one for you. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, stand to the back of your mat. As usual, I'm on an angle so you can see my lines and my technique. Roll your shoulders back. So the first thing you want to do, you stay where you are at the back of your mat, is have your feet hip distance apart. So you just measure it with the fist, walk the feet in so they're touching the outsides of your fist, and the same for the ankles, so the feet are facing forward. Knees soft. So from, if you're thinking very straight, from that, watch the knees to that. That's it. Press through your big toes. Roll those shoulders back and lift the chest. Tuck in your bottom under. So you'll know your bottom's tucked under because the little ache you may have had there will disappear, and it starts to get really tight here and your tummy goes in. Then you know you're doing it right. Roll those shoulders back and lift your chest. Now press through your big toes. I want you to press through the big toes and then try and push your knees out. You won't see the rickets, but what you will experience and feel is the muscles in your legs tightening up. Now don't confuse pushing those legs out and having all these muscles tight with locking your knees. Keep them soft and under. And now up to the ceiling with those arms and squeeze your head. Excuse me. Now can you touch your ears with your arms? And then bring the shoulders away from the ears while still touching. Turn the palms and scrape the sides of the room. Remember, it's a Brady Bunch. Bring the arms to the shoulders and push back. Oh, that's so nice. And towards the screen, and try and touch the screen with your fingers. Now bring the hands a little bit closer to take the pressure off. Let your head go down and then try and touch the screen again with your fingers. So you feel that the stretch is slightly different. Now bring the hands into the chest, lift your head, and up we go. Try to get the fingers on the ceiling again. Let's go to the side. Look up, because if you look up, it keeps your alignment. And change sides. Even just changing the direction of your eyes. So you don't have to do the full head. Just from here to here. That's so nice. Back to the shoulders. Push back now. So try and get your hands to clap at the back. Bring the hands down, roll them. Oh God, that was nice. Right, resume the position, your good posture. Bottom under, shoulders back. Put the chin into the chest and roll down all the way. Press it in that belly button, keep it in. Right there, you can feel your tummy folding over. Remember, knees soft. Down to the bottom, hold your elbows, let your head go and rock from the hips, not your arms. Keep your arms still, you're rocking from the hips. Back to the middle, release your hands, bend your knees. Now as you uncurl, these are your considerations. Pushing through your big toes, keeping your knees apart and gluing your chin to your neck. All right, let's do it. Push the floor away from you. Keep your chin glued to your neck. Are you standing up straight? Is your chin still glued to your neck? And then lift your chin, arms in the air, squeeze your head and lean back slightly, not too far. You bend your knees, look up to the ceiling. Brady Bunch down the side, all the way. All right, now we speed it up a little bit as we're in Pilates. Chin, remember how important this is. Keep the shoulders back, let's go. Folding tummy right there. Bend your knees, breathe in, uncurl, chin to come up the last. Arms in the air, squeeze your head, bend your knees, look a little bit further. Stand tall. So obviously, as you're going further back, when we arch backwards, I need you to bend your knees to take the pressure off your back, so you're like this. Okay, gymnasts will bend the knees, ballerinas will bend the knees. It's only Michael Jackson that can do that one. We're not doing it. So we're here, let's do it again. All the way down. Now, put both of your hands on one leg. If it's on your left leg, you want your left arm in the air. If your hands are on your right leg, put your right arm in the air. Now turn to look at the hand while you try and get your chest onto your knee. Change sides. Keep that fold on. Such a good back twist. I do love a back twist. And back again. Bend the knees. Uncurl. Chin, your last thing. Arms. Bend your knees some more. Slowly standing up. Okay, one more roll down. And then I want you to go straight onto all fours. So I'm here. I'm sorting my posture. I'm not rushing it. Okay, shoulders back, lift the chest, chin in the chest, press it in the belly button. Let's go. Bend your knees to put your hands on the floor, and let's come down on the floor. So we're now in the cat position. Knees directly underneath your shoulders, hands directly underneath your wrists. Remember your alternative. You can do that to stop any wrist niggles. Not only that, it looks really cool and badass. Now we're here. Knees underneath the hips. Let the chin go down so the crown of your head is facing the floor and arch up to the ceiling. You are the angry cat. Can you get the middle of your back on the ceiling? So you can feel the pressure coming off your arms. Take a deep breath in. Belly to floor, chin up. And again. This should feel very nice. Belly to floor, chin up. So this is the yoga cat-cow. Please feel free to do this at any time of the day. You can do it standing up as well. And you can do it sat on the floor. So it's sat on a chair. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep going. Give me a few more. That's it. Right. Hold it there. Pressed it in your belly button so you can really feel that. And the next move that you're going to do is you're going to do the cat with one leg. So you keep it there, one leg to the back. Now what you don't want to do is to tilt. So I don't want to see your hip opening up. It's facing the floor. And you'll find you go a little bit off balance. And that's why you want to turn. And that is what's working your core. Swap legs. We have to build up the core muscles to support the back. Now, if you notice, my leg isn't going very high. I actually want to keep it level with my bottom. Every time I put my leg out, I do want to turn my hip out. So I have to make a conscious effort to make sure I'm flat. Now, just like the standing split, if you were to put your hand on both bum cheeks, you would know if you were flat or not. Because if one leg is turned out slightly, you'll feel the bum cheek higher. So all the time adjusting. Make yourself even, and then I want you to sit back in pose of a child with your hands on your back. So here, and hands here. Rest your wrists, rest your shoulders. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Let's get back to it. Remember, you can still do that. Now, the next thing, we're taking it to the arms. Now, you may think, well, you did legs first, isn't that harder? Funnily enough, it isn't. Now, I want you to keep straight. The same rules apply. You do actually want to take your ear to your arm, so you want to do that. Don't. Keep it nice and straight. Feeling here working all the time. Keep that pressed in. Nice and controlled. You can go faster, but you must be controlled. That's what it's about, the control. Those finite Pilates movements. When you're ready, you make yourself even and you sit back in your pose of a child. Hands on your back, or you can just kneel up, it's up to you. Are you ready? Because obviously you know me, you know what's going to happen now, don't you? Opposite arm to leg. And then you must get your purchase, get your balance. So I've come a little bit on the diagonal so you can see. Left arm for me, right leg. Don't let it go out to the side, keep it here. And remember, this is the important, press it in the belly button. Do not let your hips dip like that. Straight away I'm feeling it here. So I'm pulling that in. I'm going to go opposites. Breathe out, breathe in. If you focus on holding your core in or holding your tummy in, you'll find you really feel it working. And you'll get a little giggle on because you can feel your six-pack. It's great. Breathe out, breathe in. Now I'm finding I'm having to adjust my hips with every single one, which means I suspect you will have to too. So be mindful, pay attention to it. We never stop learning in exercise, especially yoga and Pilates. So when you think you've got something clocked, we always move it on to the next level. And bring it back. It's rolling and do your wrists. Right, so we've got one more to do now, which will be the cat into the down dog. This is so nice for the back of your legs, and it's also very good for your core. So I'll demonstrate before you join in. So we start with this. We start with our cat. Have a lovely stretch, whenever you want. Try and touch your ears to your shoulders and then back up. So now, from there, once you've had your little stretch, connect the toes, up into down dog. So I'm going to take my hands a little bit further away so I can gain more from the down dog pose. I'm trying to get my head in between my ankles. Then I'm going to take a deep breath in and bring it to cat. So my knees are a little bit further back than normal, but it's testing my core some more. So with my knees a little bit further back, I get a really deep down dog. So it's a win-win, a great down dog stretch as you try and get your head in between your ankles, pushing the heels into the floor. So you can feel the stretch from the ankle up to the glutes, if you're lucky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try and get the head in between the ankles. And bring it back down to cat and up again. How about testing yourself and not putting your knees down? Can you give me 8 or 10 in a row like this? So 2 centimetres off the floor for the knees. Do not let your press come out. Don't dip your hips. It's kind of impossible to do, dipping the hips, if you don't put your knees down. So your back, you shouldn't feel any problems at all with it. The minute you feel anything, any twinges, you stop. Because what's probably happened is that you've lost your technique because you've got a little bit tired. So you just rest up for a little bit. I'm going to do one more and then sit back. And shake it off. Let me grab a drink. Ooh, money spider. I'll leave you around for a little bit. How are you feeling? Just lie down. Let me pull this out a bit because we've got some swims going on. Just lie down. Now that's good. Now just prop yourself up. while I demonstrate what we're going to do. Right, so lie down to a Superman. You've got your own mat because you're in your own home and you're not in a gym. We're going to start just by lifting up. That's it. Fingers under the chin. Keep lifting. Now I don't want you to stop unless it gets too much for here. And when it does, sit back in your pose of a child. I'm sure everybody's aware what one of those is now because we've done loads already. The reason that you're not going to stop is we're going to start taking it up. Now, remember, this is all down to you. You can stay here or you can come all the way. All the time taking a quick rest and sitting back in pose of a child to stretch out. Because we're used to folding forward. It's always been one of our benchmarks from when we were like kids. Can you touch your toes? That sort of thing. But nobody ever said, can you touch your ankles from the back? Maybe that's what we should be incorporating. Somebody needs to message Joe Wicks. Not that I'm bitter. Now, can we take the arms further out? Remember, whenever you are ready, sit back in pose of a child. Keeping the feet on the floor. Now, if you get to this position with your arms out, I want you to bring the head down. And you'll find that your neck feels a lot better. Breathe out. Breathe in. You start to feel the muscles in the middle of the back working as well. Just give me 2 more because I know you're just going to keep going until I tell you to stop. Sit back, pose of a child. This time I want you to open your knees and try and get your chest on the floor. Excuse me. Now walk your hands over to one knee and try and get your nose on your knee. And then over to the other side. Back to the centre. And scoop it through to lie down. Now just rest your chin on your hands. Lift your legs off the floor. So I want you to lift the whole leg up to the hips. Keep your head down. That's it. So if I say to you, lift your hips off the floor, you'll really try. But if I say lift your legs, you'll go like that. So lift those hips up. And you feel all here, all tense. Keep going, up and down. Breathe out, breathe in. Hold at the top. Give me some pulses. 3, 2, 1, and down. So remember, we're trying to get as high as possible. Keep it going. You do that triple pulse too. And down. 3, 2, 1, and down. Remember, anytime you need to do the stretch, you just sit back. If you're feeling any niggles or anything at all in the back, you stop. But I want you to control that technique. Pressed it in the belly button. That's what's going to help the back. All of these exercises are to help strengthen and relieve your back. There's nothing that will put too much stress on it, apart from what's coming now. Give me one more. 3, 2, 1. Sit back, pose of a child. Over to one side. Over to the other side. Back to the middle. Let's go again. Now, as you can see, we've split up a move. So we're going to put them back together again. Once again, this is all about you. The back is a very, very sensitive area. You know how it feels because it's yours. Do not push yourself too far if you have back issues. What we always do, we start small. So we could go head, legs, head, legs. Going back small, head and legs. And then I start to move my hands away. So I'm more bothered about getting my legs off the floor and I'm looking down. Remember, you have many options, just your upper body, just your lower body. You've got your hands still on the floor. You've got your hands behind your ears. So many things you can do. And relax. Sit back in your pose of a child. And to one side. So remember, you don't have to do all the reps that we do. You can do as many as you feel comfortable with. Then you sit back in a pose of a child and then maybe come back and do a couple more. Likewise, if you feel you can do more reps, go for it. So class is personal. I give you the moves and you take them and run with them. Right. Shall we do a little bit of a swim? We can give you some traditional Pilates. I've got my arms out here, pressed it in the belly button. Watch what I'm going to do with my arms. No legs as yet. So in order to lift my arms off the floor, I've really got a tight hold on my core. Off you go. So hold it in and down. How about your Pilates breathing with it? So take a deep breath in. And down. If you feel that you're ready to add your legs, go for it. This is the way to start. So it means you're not floundering around. Left arm, right leg, or vice versa. Left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. Look down, start it slowly, and then speed up. And sit back in your pose of a child. Oh yeah. Over to one side, so you're actually really appreciating these poses of a child right now. And over to the other side. Back to the middle. Walk in. We're not done though. One side, lift up. Just giving a bit of a twist. Because we've worked so hard today. And then the other. Let's grab a drink. Now one more on the tummy. It's the Phoenix or the Cobra into the pose of a child and then into flow. It's a fantastic one for your back and it's helpful for everybody with a tight back on the side here because you can't touch the toes, and vice versa if you need to go backwards. Watch this as a demonstration first. I'm in my pose of a child, arms are stretched out to the front of the mat. I'm thinking about gliding along. Now remember, this is called the Cobra. So you've got to do a bit of a slither. You bend your elbows. I'm keeping my nose close to the floor. And then when I lie down, elbows underneath the shoulders. Lifting up and pulling the shoulders back and lengthening the neck. Back into your pose of a child. And take it through again. Elbows. Now you can stick with the Phoenix or you can go for the Cobra. So I'm trying to lengthen my neck and lengthen my torso and pull my shoulders back. So one more into pose of a child and then I'll show you the Cobra. If you're quite comfortable and happy with the Phoenix and your back is quite comfortable and happy with the Phoenix, go for that one. And stick with that. Alternatively, you can give this one a go. Now, position and technique, very, very important for your shoulder health and joint health. Put your thumbs on your bottom ribs and then hands flat on the floor. Take a deep breath in. And when you come up, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the neck. So this is quite intense on your lower back, which is why we don't stay here very long. So what I need to work on is pulling my shoulders back when I'm in the Cobra. I'm trying very, very hard. And again. lie down, put your thumbs on your ribs or your elbows underneath the shoulders. The reason the thumbs are on the ribs is because when you come up into your cobra, they're in the exact perfect position. So it is a personal thing. Your ribs, not the same distance apart as my ribs. Back again. One side and the other. Let's have another scoop. You can be getting quite good at knowing where your ribs are now. Pull those shoulders away and back. Right, just kneel down for me. I'm going to demonstrate bringing that particular move up a notch. So I'm going to do a couple of those. It's up to you if you want to join in and do those, or you can do the one we've just been doing. Totally up to you. So I start with connecting my nose, connecting my toes, scoop it through, thumbs on ribs, lifting my upper body, lifting my knees up off the floor. I sit back on my heels, keeping my knees off the floor. That is what we're doing. Do not put your body down. Wah. So I'm going to grab the sides of the mat. So knees close to the floor, scoop it through and up. It's a killer, that one, isn't it? One more for luck. Scoop it, so bend the elbows. And up. Here it is with the knees down. It's a bit of a dodgy wrist, that one. One more. Oh, not for that one. And there you go. Come and sit down. That one making you very, very warm. So you can either kneel down, which will stretch your quads, which is great after my run this morning, or you can sit down on your bottom with your legs out straight. In fact, tell you what, we'll do both. So we're here, roll it back, sitting down. Hopefully your bottom is on your heels now because we've stretched out quite nicely. Hand down and across. So you can feel here, stretching out. Look up to the ceiling. Change sides. Look up to that ceiling. Oh, that is so good. Hands on one side and turn to look at the wall behind you. And the other. Remember, where your eyes go, your body will follow, making the stretch more effective and less likely to get injured. Now sit down on your bottom. Grow your upper body. Breathe in, bring it down. To breathe out. If you're not quite touching your toes, put your hands underneath your legs. Literally jam them underneath. Everybody take a deep breath in, lift your chest. So this is what we look like normally. And I want you to lift your chest up. Take a deep breath in and try and get your elbows on your legs or on the floor. Now, can we rock with it? Yes, I know how this feels in the back of your legs. Back to the centre, release, and uncurl. And we do another twist, so I want you to bring this leg over. This is quite a gentle one, actually, for the lower back. Glutes all the way to the sciatic area. How close to your bottom can you get this foot? Wrap your arms around it. You can feel the stretch in your back as well, in the upper back. Right there, right there. Let's change legs. This is definitely more effective and needed than another twist. Oh, that's good. You see, the closer you've got this foot to your bottom, the deeper this stretch is going to be. Obviously not quite as deep as a cow face pose, but that's just crawl this morning. And yeah. One more forward fold. Breathe in, breathe out. Try and get your chest onto your knees. Uncurl, chin coming up last. Lift your chest, pull the shoulders back, hands in prayer. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. Well done.